I'm not gonna lie, the rate at which we're pumping these out is impressing myself. We are flying through this Ferrari road to glory. We're here for round 9 already for the Canadian Grand Prix. 15 rounds remain, including this one, and we look to try and fight for the championship. If you haven't seen the last video, guys, link in the top right to the Spanish Grand Prix. Spoiler warning ahead, so this is your chance to click off the video now and check out the last one. As always, 3, 2, 1. Right, let's get into it. Starting off with upgrades. At the minute, we're pretty quick. The car is working beautifully. We're very, very strong, just both myself and Leclerc. So this is a good chance to basically work on upgrades that aren't necessarily all out performance related. So we can work on some reliability, some fuel efficiency, all those kind of things. Anyway, picking a new rival. This was tricky, but I chose to go with Max Verstappen. Max isn't actually that strong in career mode, and when you choose a rival, it gives them a little boost. And Red Bull, Max haven't been that great. Leclerc's my main rival, so I'm happy to basically stick with him and see how that develops. Now, we had a failure for the fuel technology, so we're going to go ahead and repurchase the upgrade, but it's not going to be on the car in time for Canada, so that will be on the car for the next race. Here are the championship standings heading into this one. Leclerc leads, we are 7 points behind. We lead the constructors, and right now we're looking very strong. Our car is also it's coming together beautifully. And at the minute, it's basically me versus Leclerc. Red Bull, McLaren are just a little bit further back, and Mercedes as well. The forecast in Canada is dry, no rain expected. As for upgrades, besides the failed fuel efficiency upgrade, we have 2 upgrades on for reliability for the turbo and the MG UK. And of course, the ones we just purchased as well are going to help us out a bit more. One part of the car that we have to work on is the ICE, which is also a bit second-hand, and we're going to have to just stretch it out this race, and then for the next one we might give it an update because Austria is a power circuit. You can see McLaren and Mercedes bring in big updates, and that we'll see, that could affect this weekend if they get closer to us or not. Either way, jumping into practice, let's talk about Canada. The good thing about this track, I did a league race here on Monday night, so I'm very sharp and very much on the pace. I've got a good setup and everything is dialed in and locked in, which it's great because I can just hop on and get on the pace straight away. Tyre wear lower than expected, fuel also on the lower side, and this is one of those tracks where a 2-stop is possible along with a 1 because the pit lane is very short, so there's going to be a lot of strategy options in this race. We bagged up a whole bunch of R&D points and discounts as always. Practice pace, we was down in the bottom half of the table, but we were on the hard tyres, which there's a big difference between the mediums, the hards, and the softs around here. But yeah, overall, smooth weekend, everything going really well. But we're now going to jump into qualifying, and we are going to get stuck in and see exactly what is the true pace of our car this weekend. We're hot off the back of a couple of race wins in Monaco and Spain. There's our new helmet once again, looking absolutely beautiful, and we're going to get straight into it. So, starting off with our formation lap, or our installation lap, getting the tyres warmed up. Oscar Piastri sets the benchmark in the improved McLaren, a 1 minute 9.646. That's going to be the benchmark for us to try and hit. First time lap, very smooth, not a single error. The car is super stable and is doing exactly what I ask it to do. It's just planted, it responds well. It's basically like an RB20 in real life, but it's a red car. Making our way into the final chicane then, looking to close out the lap. Nicely done within track limits, not hitting the barrier, getting a slight slipstream from the car ahead as we go for a 1 minute 9 dead, which is 6/10 quicker than Piastri. However, others did improve, but heading on to our final runs, we are half a second, 6/10 quicker than the next car, Lando and Verstappen. Leclerc only P10 right now, purple in sector 2, but seemingly off the pace. Either way, we're going to jump onto our final qualifying lap. I'll let you guys enjoy this one. Target is to try and slip into the 8s. Let's get into it and let's see what we do, and let's go flat out for a lap of Canada. Now, we already had pole, nobody else improved, we was the last car to set a lap, but we increased our margin even more. To be fair, the AI got closer than I thought in the end, because had we, made a mistake or not had an improvement, it would have been 2 tenths of Verstappen, but we did find more time. We drop into the 8s, so 1 minute 8.789. Leclerc P4, so not on the front row, which is interesting. We had a few front row lockouts, but this one has been a bit of an exception. Red Bull, McLaren in between, and yeah, a bit of a mixed up grid. Either way, it's going to be a fierce battle for that second place between Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc and Piastri based off the quali times. For the race, hopefully we can convert this into a win. If we do, if these positions are the race positions, we will be the new championship leader after the race. So guys, let's get into it. Let's get into the main event and let's try and convert pole into race win.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Martinez lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricciardo, Bottas, Joe, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor, and every time you're involved in an accident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
For the first time in a couple of races, we are on pole, but it's not a front row lockout. Leclerc only P4, so I think possibly this track might not be 100% suited to our car. I could be wrong. Either way, Leclerc P4, we're P1. Of course, he's our championship rival right now. He's leading the championship, 7 points ahead. So we have a chance today to hopefully regain the lead in the Drivers' Championship. So, strategy-wise, we have 2 options. The 1 stop or the 2. The 2 is slightly slower, but I think I can make it faster because of the fact we're going to be on fresher tyres, basically the whole stint. Also, the 2 stop is going to enable us to have a shot at the fastest lap at the end of the race, which could be also another extra point. So the reason the 2 stop works around here because the pit lane is very short. Also the entry and especially the exit actually gain you time back. So the net loss in the pit lane is, I believe, the shortest one on the entire calendar. So if you're going to 2 stop, this is the track for it. Fuel-wise, I'm running just 0.3 extra, very little, just enough to be safe. We're stopping twice, so we should save fuel in both pit stops. But yeah, overall, the pace of the car is great. It helps. I did a league race here the other day, so feeling confident, and hopefully we can get another W and get closer, or possibly even lead in the Drivers' Championship. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's race. Everyone on mediums, we're going to try and place our car a bit more aggressively, pointing towards the inside. There we go. Right then, let's get to it. Revs up, lights on, and away we go. Good start.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Right, lovely stuff. Perfect launch. We cover off Verstappen, and we're all on the same strategy, so, or at least to start the race anyway. So we're going to try and, of course, break the RS. First order of business, the most important thing is to do that. Leclerc down to 5th, losing out to one of the McLarens on the race start. Let's get the battery on and let's try to pull away. The AI clearly running a lot less wing than me, so they're going to be super fast on the straights. So we're going to have to deploy our wings in the corners to try and open a gap. Max aggressively going through here. So we're going to make sure we have a nice hairpin and a good exit. Just like that. There we go. Nice gap opened up. Now we can hopefully pull away through sector 1 on lap 2. Let's keep at it. Let's make this a nice simple race. There we go. Gap already over a second. Let's keep pulling away. We're very strong in sector 1, especially in race trim. Gap now 1.2, 1.3. This is good stuff. We're going to keep using the battery. But we've got what we need. We've got the gap. Let's see if Leclerc can, obviously for the Constructors' Championship, fight back. As long as he isn't a threat to us and our race, of course.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
11.8. Already very strong pace. Verstappen also about to break DRS on Norris by the looks of it, so pace is looking strong. So Norris back within Verstappen's DRS and dropping his teammate, which means Piastri now potentially vulnerable to Leclerc. I'm not using any battery, so our pace with no battery use is basically identical to Verstappen. So at the minute, the race is simmering. This reminds me of Spain a little bit. I think we've got more pace in hand if we need it, but we have to use the battery to deploy it. I think our lack of straight line speed is a bit of an issue in race trim, as you know, there are a few straights here, but we just have to make sure we keep nailing sector 1 every lap, and we'll be okay. Just entering the first phase. Back end now starting to slide. This is why the 2-stop could be interesting, because we'll be on a fresh tyre most of the race. The tyres feel horrible once they enter the first phase. They're very slippy. So, let's see. First warning there. A bit too much of a cut. Norris, Verstappen battling for second place. Leclerc was also battling with Perez on the last lap, so he's now falling away from Piastri. This is perfect. I'm looking at the mini-map, there's a gap between the two Mercedes on there, so if I can rejoin between them, that would be perfect. And that is my intention.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
I've been trying to save fuel. We got down to 0.02. I've had to just readjust my driving style, but we're able to go just as quick whilst lifting and coasting. Just got to be a little bit cautious in terms of the way I attack certain apexes. Let's use the battery though, and box this lap. All the battery, down to the pits. There's a gap you can see behind the Mercedes. For the rest of the midfield, the Alpines and the Astons really dropped off in the last 2 laps. Not sure what happened to them, but they lost a chunk of time. So I reckon we can make this happen and rejoin behind the Mercs quite nicely. Beautiful pit entry. Well controlled. And we'll go for a set of mediums again, and then save the softs for the end. Away we go. AR stay out as expected. So I'm expecting a 1-stop. They've all got to start at medium, so I'm expecting a medium to hard tyre strategy, simple one. And we're going to rejoin just behind Hamilton here, so happy days, perfect strategy.
Okay, 1 stop to go, just 1 stop left in this strategy.
I can see Russell actually pit and rejoined or something happened, he's way back, so there we go, P7. And these guys should be in over the next 2 laps or so, I reckon, anyway. So they'll either get out of our way or we'll have to get them, but the track will also clear up for us. Oh, okay, Leclerc's in already.
Charles is in the pits.
So that's a little bit earlier than originally expected. That could be a 2 from Leclerc. He hasn't had any pace this race. He's been struggling. I wonder if he's got slight damage, maybe, who knows. Hamilton right now in a decent spot on that hard tyre. He's kept pace pretty well with those ahead. But you can see right now we have such a tyre delta advantage. We're going to try and get Lewis here. Can't really waste any time, so through we go. Nice easy move on the inside. And we'll get DRS on Checo, so we should be able to go 2 for 1 and probably get Perez on the back straight. So we'll close in through here, again using the tyres and the rubber advantage. Perez will just stretch away down to the hairpin with a straight line speed, but then we'll close back in. Strong possibility, Checo pits anyway, but here we go. Look at the grip, look at the traction, we go straight through. And thus we avoid that scenario where Perez, we have to go around him if he does pit. We'll use some battery just to make sure we stay ahead. Verstappen and Norris stay out, as does Piastri. So at the minute, no one's pulling the trigger, and Perez also stays out. So only Leclerc right now. Right, Piastri is really struggling, so we're going to have to go for the move here. We'll just wait for the hairpin. We've passed the detection point, so we'll have DRS around the outside of the Aussie. And through we go. So just Verstappen and Norris remain. Surely they'll probably pit this lap, if not on the next one. But I expect Verstappen and Norris to box this one. Piastri on the next one. Nope, they're both staying out. Interesting. So I wonder if they're going to try and go medium soft. That's my only prediction right now. Oh, there we go. Norris in. Verstappen stays out, interestingly. So Norris is going to undercut Verstappen. Perez also stays out. We go purple without using any battery, so just using the tyre grip. But that's interesting. So Red Bull staying out with both cars. We're probably going to get Verstappen here. Just way more grip. Similar move to Piastri, most likely. This time on the inside. Get the car stopped using the tyre grip. And there we go. You can see we're nowhere near the first phase. So this is working perfectly in terms of our race strategy. The two-stop is just a very good one. It works really well. You spend minimal time in the first phase of wear, which is beyond 25%, which allows you to go just really quick and flat out the whole race. Max is still staying out, so I think Red Bull are going to go medium soft. That's my prediction. McLaren, medium hard. Oh. Pierre out. Looks like there won't be a safety car though, so we'll continue on our way. Leclerc's on softs, interestingly, so he's going to have to stop again for another set of tyres. So he's sticking to the original strategy, which before I changed anything was medium, soft, medium for the Ferrari team. So I think he's off pace. Something's not right. Maybe slight damage. And there we go. Verstappen finally into the pit lane. So that's soft tyre territory, indeed. There we go. And Perez will be in this lap. At the minute, I don't know the exact time for a stop. I reckon it's around 16, 17 seconds, but Leclerc's holding up Norris and Verstappen, so this is fine. I think Norris may even have damage, as he's losing a bit of time to Leclerc, but the gap was 18 seconds, now it's 20, so they're losing time, so we can stay out and commit to our strategy here. Leclerc doing an excellent job of being a mobile chicane. Right then, Leclerc pits. That could be another soft tyre, actually. He's gone longer than I thought. We're boxing next lap, so we're on course. So Lando will start to cook now. It's Lando versus Verstappen. Those two are battling for position on completely different tyres, so that could cost each other time. Right now we should be able to rejoin in P1 as things stand. Verstappen second right now, got through on Norris and pushing and also pulling Norris with him for the ride. We're going to box. I don't want to drain all my battery, I want to keep some back as we want to go for the fast lap attempt. This is going to be close, really close. If we rejoin in P1 or not, we're about to find out. Don't speed, there we go, nicely slowed down. A nice, safe, clean stop please Ferrari, that's what we need right now. Onto the softs. 2.2 on the money yet again, and I think we're going to be out in first here. Just. Could be close actually. Come on, get off the limiter. Here we go.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
And there goes Max. But we just get out in front, as I expected, as I predicted. And we're just going to stay out of the DRS range, by the looks of it. So that was crucial and successful. Leclerc setting the pace, I'm assuming on softs. The whole pack's going to bunch up here, where we are, in this part of the track, at the end. But we're going to try and pull away and get the fast lap and win this race. Using everything on the battery. This is going to be a fast lap by quite some margin. 2 purple sectors, about to be 3, hopefully. Into the 1 minute 9s. There we go. 3 purple sectors. A perfect fastest lap. Now we just bring the car home, hopefully no late dramas. A masterful performance here at Canada. Very smooth race, the 2-stop working beautifully. And overall it's going to be another win in the record books. Great, great drive. The car was brilliant all race. And we're going to bring it home. P1, another win. And with that, the championship lead. Let's go.
Thank you.
drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserve that race win. Well done, mate.
That's it for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I want to know if that was as easy as it looked. An absolute masterclass today.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
There we go then, race done in Canada. Wow, the fastest laps make for very interesting reading. No car in the 1 minute 10s and I'm in the 109s. On a one-off lap we're very quick. Race pace was a bit more similar but well managed, we just had a bit more pace. The higher wings working well in the first sector. Anyway guys, there is your lot. A very successful race. Last few races to be fair, everything is really, you know, coming up top 97 right now. And yeah, everything looks good. Leclerc finishes P7 in the end, so that's big for the championship. Let's confirm it. So as you can see, we are back on top, leading the Drivers' Championship. 13 points clear of Leclerc, 23 clear of Verstappen. I'll pitch the question again. Should I put mechanical failures back on, seeing as we're only 9 races in, and our lead had 3 failures, turn them off, and I've won the last 2 or 3, and we're back on top. So let me know. Discussion down below in the comments. Either way, there's your championship standings. In the constructors, we're 68 points clear of Red Bull, 125 ahead of McLaren, and 6 more from Mercedes. So everything looks great. Guys, like and subscribe for the video. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. If you are new to the channel, subscribe like I said. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting all the content that I make. Check out the 2 videos on screen and my channel sponsors down below. And yeah, cheers guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Adios.